Nothing to report, sir. These must be the missing soldiers.
Murdered. Shit.
We should see that their families are notified.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hessarian. It seems there's a way to challenge their leader.
They have traditions. These men were just following a code. If the Inquisition can win their loyalty, we could steer them on a better path.
It looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
Cold, salt air.
Let's look around. The Wardens must have moved on. They're searching for someone.
On Warden business, maybe? Secret missions or whatever it is they get up to when there's no blight.
Whoever the Wardens are seeking, he's led them away from here.
I think the Inquisition could benefit from this. Ever heard of the pale ship that appears on the mists? The Windy Marcher. I think that's what they call it.
What can I do for you?
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
Nothing jumps out at me. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know.
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The Chief. First time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for a Canary, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less. If he keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The charges might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee Tevinter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
That's how he lost the eye?
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them to stop. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flail. Bull put himself between me and the blow. Big horned idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange to work for a Kunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasroth, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
Research him in alloys that may prove more effective against...
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
You've proven yourself to be an honorable woman. Principled. I've great admiration for you, and I've never been more certain in my decision to join you.
I would never have guessed that you admire me.
Of course I do. You have the world at your feet, myself included.
So you take your cue from everyone else? What if they despised me?
If that were to happen, I would reject the world for lacking in good taste. And perhaps we could continue as we are. Us against them. Now, we should return to our duties before I get too carried away.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
Brute force is not always the answer. There are plenty of other paths to victory.
True enough. Still, it never hurts to be prepared. One thing I will say about your men. They're passionate, devoted. You inspire them. Build on that foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Sarah doesn't know who she is or what she wants, and doesn't even care.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
What do you think of Haven?
It's a war camp that was once a pilgrim's refuge. It's the state of the world, though, isn't it? Holy ground turned into a battlefield. Pity about that temple. Would have been nice to see it.
What do you think about all this trouble between the Mages and Templars?
Looking at it from where we stand, it seems inevitable. But that could be hindsight. How many of us actually saw it coming? Either way, I don't think the Chantry will ever recover.
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Good day to you.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Kanari learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
You sound like you want to head down there and give the troops some pointers.
Nah, I'm no good at command unless I know who my guys are sleeping with and what they like to drink. Inquisition's already too large for that. The Chargers are big enough for me. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Cullen has the loyalty of our soldiers.
Yeah, he's shaping up to be a good commander. But he's building an army, not a movement. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions, and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't, but it could. How's it going?
I'd like to know more about your work with the Ben Hasrath.
Ben Hasrath is actually a general term. You've got the secret police who investigate problems inside our territory. You've got the re-educators who take people with problems and fix their minds. Or make them disappear. And then you've got the spies.
How do the re-educators work?
Well, I only know the basics. Wasn't my area. That said, keep a man awake long enough. Ask the right questions, give the right potions, and you can get him to say anything. You don't need blood magic or demons to change someone's mind. We're a lot more fragile than we'd like to believe.
You can alter someone's beliefs that easily.
One of my friends was a re-educator. He said that every memory is like the page of a book. When you examine a memory, you're turning to that page, and when you're there, the page is laid bare. Write a few notes in the margins of the page, erase a word here and there, and your whole outlook changes. Always felt a little weird reading after that conversation.
The re-educators sound horrible.
Yeah, they probably do. Here's the thing, though. What happens in Orlais when you commit a crime or betray a lord? They just lop your head off. At least the Qunari try to fix you.
None of those sound exactly like you.
Yeah, I was a special case. They sent me to Saharan because they needed someone who could fight and hunt down problems. That whole island was a sack of cats. Incursions from Tevinter, Tal Vashath, and native rebels fighting both sides. And in the middle, me, trying to wrangle the rebels and restore order.
How'd that work out for you?
About as well as you'd expect. I hunted down a lot of rebels. Lost a lot of friends to the Vince, or the Fog Warriors, or the Tal Vashath. One day I woke up and couldn't think of a damned reason to keep doing my job. Turned myself into the re-educators.
You'd heard what the re-educators did to their prisoners.
Yes, I had. I wanted them to fix me like they fixed them. The Ben Hasrath ordered me to go to Orlais, ostensibly as a Talvashath, and work undercover. That's how I ended up here.
I'm glad you're here, Bull.
Me too.
If you ever need to talk more about all this, let me know.
Nah, it was a long time ago. Thanks, though.
Do you need something?
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars as our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
13? That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of Lyria and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
A life of service and sacrifice. Are Templars also expected to give up physical temptations?
Physical? Why... why would you... That's not expected. Templars can marry, although there are rules around it, and the Order must grant permission. Some may choose to give up more to prove their devotion, but it's not required.
Have you?
Me? No. I've taken no such vows. Maker's breath. Can we speak of something else?
Prior to the Conclave, I'd only encountered Templars in the Circle. Do they do anything besides guard mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates, or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
I know how I spent my time in the Circle, but what was a typical day for a Templar?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
We would spend all day with Templars, and yet they rarely spoke to us.
A habit often mistaken for coldness, I'm sure. But we are expected to keep a certain distance from our charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Another time, then.
How's it going?
So, how did you get the name Iron Bull?
I picked it. We don't have names under the Qun. Just, I don't know. Job descriptions, I guess. When I came to Orlais, I chose the Iron Bull for myself.
But why specifically Iron Bull?
This may surprise you, but I really like hitting things. Also, it's the Iron Bull, technically. I like having an article at the front. It makes it sound like I'm not even a person, just a mindless weapon. An implement of destruction. That really works for me.
I'd like to know more about the Qunari.
You writing a book?
What I've heard about them sounds fascinating.
What you've heard was mostly horse shit. All right. What do you want to know?
What's it like growing up under the Qun?
The Tamasrans raise us in these units of kids all our own age. They're like teachers or chantry sisters. They also help figure out what jobs we should do. They had me pegged for military work early on. When they learned I could hit stuff and lie, they started training me for the Ben Hasra.
You never knew your parents?
No. I know for you folks, that's a big deal. The Tamasrans were like our parents, though. Taught us to read, helped us go to sleep, all the parent stuff. I remember the one who helped me build things with blocks. She laughed when I knocked everything down.
Do you ever think about what would happen if the Qunari conquered Orlais or Ferelden?
Some folks, like Cassandra or Cullen, would do fine if they didn't die fighting. Those two love rules. But the mages, look at Solus. All that wandering in the Fade. They'd at least kill him. Both Sarah and Varric would mouth off until they ended up re-educated, drugged until their minds broke. So, to answer your question, no, I don't think about it much at all.
I've heard there's no marriage among the Qunari.
Yeah, that's true. Qunari love our friends like anyone does, but we don't have sex with them.
Qunari don't have sex?
Oh, we definitely have sex. They're Tamasrans who pop your cork whenever you need it.
Seriously?
Yes. It's not a big deal like it is here. It's like, I don't know, going to see a healer. Sometimes it's this long, involved thing. It takes all day, leaves you walking funny. Other times you're in and out in 5 minutes. Thank you. See you next week.
That sounds different.
Yep. Still, it's more fun here. Fewer rituals, more making it up as you go along. Plus, you folk have redheads. Redheads.
How is everyday life different for Qunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Val Royeaux gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Qun. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
It can't be exactly the same. The Kunari have no personal freedoms.
How many personal freedoms do you figure that baker in Valroyo has? Life isn't about freedom. The baker in Parvolan wonders if she'll be given enough eggs to do her work. Will they come on time? Will the kitchen workers get her bread while it's fresh, or will they come late and blame her 'cause it's stale? Same crap in Valroyo. People are just people.
How do the Kunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Kunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Kunari safe from outside threats.
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Olay, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Kunari, the Ben Hasrath set you straight. Or kill you.
The word Kunari, is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Qun are the Vidathari. The Kunari who break away from the Qun are Talvasha, deserters.
What about Kunari who existed before the Kyun?
The people we came from. They're called the Kosset, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Kosset were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. Whatever they are.
See you later, Bull.
See ya.
Anything you can.
Need something?
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Chasing mages, that's a Templar's job. A big, armored, pissed-off helm polisher. Not too late to go find some. Or stay home.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Again with your people. Right, which ones?
Thoughts on Iron Bull?
It makes me wonder about things. I mean, what do their women look like? Woofs.
Any thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
He's too good, right? I'd like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
What do you think about our Spymaster, Ambassador, and Commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair though.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here. Hey, it's you again.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
So do you take turns leading or something like that?
There's nothing to lead. Put a few favors in, take a few out. Stop and you cut yourself out. Other than that, we stay out of each other's way. Probably best. Some are right.
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun that, though. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, they wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
So lots of little contributions add up in the background, like snowflakes that snap a branch.
What? Sure. Like snow, I guess. Anyway, it just works, most of the time. Friend of a friend and little hints. Mind you, you still have to be smart. Don't bet your life unless you're into that. To be clear, I'm not into that.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit?
Listen, I'm not saying
Flitter sent me over to see if you need anything.
Thank you, no. Can't eat while I'm working. Crumbs in a bunch.
Hello.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Let all repeat the chant of light.
Walk in peace. Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher. So to answer your question, yes. It was more than friendship.
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
We'll talk more later.
Oh, make her hear my cry. Seat me by your side in death. Make me one with you.
If Harriet runs into any trouble, have him come to me. We'll get him what he needs.
With passioned breath does the darkness creep. With passioned breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper in the night.
You were saying something about... Cullen?
Yes. Haven has limited space for our soldiers to train. Perhaps we could set up something over here.
Let us begin. Let's see what we have. What may I do for you?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Sir Griffith of Denerim, a most distinguished knight of the realm. He's defeated darkspawn, slain demons, chased down abominations. Just don't ask him about it over dinner. He spares no detail.
You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
I'll speak with you later.
Thank you again for what you've brought back. Yes. Good.
Has nothing to do with fairness. We simply can't accommodate them if they bring that many servants.
I will speak to the Duchess. She can be reasoned with, after a fashion.
The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a knight recruit. They gather at Theronfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere. We can ask him then.
The Lord Seeker made it clear he isn't interested in anyone unimportant.
So we must change how he sees us, no?
If it's status the Lord Seeker seeks, the Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais.
They'll come with us to Therenfall and demand the Templars' help close the breach.
You believe that will work?
Even the Lord Seeker would find it difficult to ignore so many nobles on his doorstep.
Yes, especially when led by the Herald of Andraste.
Is it my good looks you need, or my winning smile?
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars.
We've done our part to encourage them.
A herald with a few companions may be dismissed, easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
Isn't there the slightest chance the Lord Seeker will see my arrival as a threat?
Before, I would have thought he was a man of reason. Now, I could not say.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars, with or without his approval. The breach will not wait for our differences to settle.
Good news. Several noble Orlesian houses will petition the Templars to help us stop the breach. Lord Abernash will approach him. Sign nothing arms. But his God seems reliable.
I hope he knows the Lord Seeker's mood. The Templars will never help without his consent.
The Herald of Andraste! Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored to participate. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. Nothing. I'd heard a Trevelyan or two took up the cause there. The Lord Seeker is willing to hear our petition about closing the breach. A credit to our alliance with the Inquisition. Care to mark the moment? 10 Orlesian houses walk with you.
The Inquisition values this alliance, Lord Abernash. The Templars must see reason. We can't let the breach endanger us any longer.
Oh yes, ghastly-looking thing. The Lord Seeker can't think we're ignoring it. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'd divulge what finally got their attention. Rumor will, if you won't.
What do you mean?
The Lord Seeker won't meet us until he greets the Inquisition in person. Quite a surprise after the spat in Val Royeaux.
The Lord Seeker may not be singling the Inquisition out for praise, Lord Abernash.
A meeting is a meeting. Get his ear. See if you can't bend it to do something advantageous. Here we are, Therenfall Redoubt.
Oh, it screams, I hate fun and kick puppies, doesn't it?
It appears they've sent someone to greet you. Present well. Everyone is a little tense for my liking.
The Lord Seeker changed his mind about us rather quickly. Is he known for that?
Perhaps he thinks you'll rescue him from this sea of petticoats.
Have you looked at the sky, Sir Knight?
Of course, but...
Is your order not sworn to destroy heretical magic?
Yes, but...
Then if the Templars won't seal this breach, action against you shall be required.
Action against us?
The Empress of Orlais, my dear woman, listens to her court.
Oh, Maker. Excuse me, Lady...
Countess d'Auvergne.
Countess, ma'am. Is it true that the Herald of Andraste is coming? Is she here already?
I was waiting for spontaneous flattery, but I suppose the game is up.
You mean you're... Oh. Welcome. We're not used to mages here. At least, none who are pleased to see us.
Should I worry?
If Andraste has chosen you as her herald, I am sure she made no mistake.
I present Knight Templar Sir Delrin Barris, second son of Ban Jevrin Barris of Ferelden. Sir Barris, may I be so honored as to present Lord Esmeralda Abanage?
I'm the one who sent word to Cullen. He said the Inquisition works to close this breach in the Vale. I didn't think you'd bring such lofty company.
Barris. Moderate holdings, your family. And the second son?
This promise of status has garnered interest from the Lord Seeker. Beyond sense. The sky burns with magic, but he ignores all calls to action until your friends arrive.
The Lord Seeker does realize that's a rip into the Fade hanging above our heads.
The commanders say he's considering the situation. Maker knows how. The Lord Seeker's actions make no sense. He promised to restore the Order's honor, then marched us here to wait. Templars should know their duty, even when held from it.
A Templar who remembers duty. I thought we'd never find one.
Win over the Lord Seeker, and every able-bodied knight will help the Inquisition seal the breach.
If you think we're right, abandon the Lord Seeker and help us.
We can't abandon our orders. Not while the officers who survived the Conclave follow him. We've been asked to accept much, after that shameful display in Valroyo. Our truth changes on the hour.
Don't keep your betters waiting, Barris. There's important work for those born to it.
The Lord Seeker has a request before you meet him. These are the standards. An honored right, centered on the people, the Maker, and the Order. The Lord Seeker asks that you perform the rite, so he may see the order in which you honor them.
What if I fail?
Well, there's no correct answer. The ritual simply shows Watchers who you are and what you value.
Fancy title aside, I don't actually command the Inquisition.
That doesn't seem to matter. The Lord Seeker changed everything to meet you. Not the Inquisition. You. By name.
Why?
I don't know. He's been fixated on you ever since your horde of nobles arrived.
The Lord Seeker makes us shuffle flags around. Refuse! Let's meet the man already.
We'll complete the ritual as the Lord Seeker requests.
When you've completed the rite, I'll take you to him. Once you finish the standards, the Lord Seeker will see you, Herald.
Hang your own draperies, knight. We've business to conduct. What does the Lord Seeker want to see, Templar?
The Herald's choice, Abanash, not yours.
He's welcome to it.
Chantry and Andraste, Bride of the Maker, Lady of Light.
I am surprised you regard the Chantry so highly, given how its members have treated you.
Traditionally, a participant in the rite now explains their choices to those assembled.
This was a question of what I believe. I let faith guide my answers.
On a whim? If it wasn't to impress the Lord Seeker, why bother at all?
I suppose those are your intentions.
My intent is to deal with people who matter. You helmed louts are wasting the Inquisition's time, and my time. Unacceptable!
The Lord Seeker awaits you both. Follow me.
Misty again. Cold today. You're the one who said following the Lord Seeker would bring us to a better place.
Should we have stayed with the Chantry? They're little chickens with their heads cut off.
I'm still waiting for the Lord Seeker.
It's necessary, you know. You don't run a battlefield by committee.
Without faith, you've no knights. You've... Knight Captain.
You were expecting the Lord Seeker. He sent me to die for you.
Knight Captain, Lord Esmerel Abernash. Honored. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. No doubt rank puts you above such things. A pity more people don't understand that.
This is the grand alliance the Inquisition offers.
Lord Abernash, it might be wise to give the Knight Captain some distance.
You're a silver tongue. I won't let you claim the Knight and his captain. Knight Captain Denham.
The Lord Seeker had a plan, but the Herald ruined it by arriving with purpose. It sowed too much dissent.
Knight Captain, I must know what's going on.
You are all supposed to be changed. Now we must purge the questioning knights.
For once, I agree with the...
The Elder One is coming. No one will leave Therenfall who is not stained red.
Maker's breath.
Now we're all here for the Elder
What's the Lord Seeker?
Is the Knight Captain alive?
If you use a healing elixir, he may survive. If he even deserves it.
We'll heal him. Let's judge the Knight Captain after we find his master.
I agree. We've no idea what came over him.
The Knight Captain's keys. I would question the Lord Seeker about this Elder One.
Like no Templars I've ever seen. And yet there seems no shortage here. Not what I want to think about.
These things, traitors to their kin.
Indeed, there are few crimes worse.
Make them feel it.
Stuck. It's barricaded from the other side.
Prepare them. Guide them to me.
Was that the Lord Seeker?
I didn't hear him.
You will be so much more. Show me what you... I would know you.
I don't know what's happening. All the officers have been turned into those... things.
The Herald of Andraste, it's time we became better acquainted. Come, show me what kind of woman you really are.
Is this shape useful? Will it let me know you? Everything tells me about you. So will this. Watch.
Are you trying to tempt me or copy me?
Are you trying to copy me? Being you will be so much more interesting than being the Lord Seeker. Do you know what the Inquisition can become? You'll see. When I'm done, the Elder One will kill you and ascend. Then I will be you.
Who or what is this Elder One?
He is between things. Mortal once, but no longer. Lori is coming, and the Elder One wants you to serve him like everyone else, by dying in the right way.
Keep talking then.
I am not your toy. I am Envy, and I will know you. Tell me, Herald, in your mind. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel.
Tell me what you see.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. Do you deny it? Do you dare deny your crime? You're lying!
Our enemies have surrendered unconditionally.
The Inquisition's strength rivals any kingdom invade us.
Our reach begins to match my ambition, but we will strive for more.
That's my body! What are you doing?
Is that a hint of fear? Interesting. You chose the Chantry's flag for the standards. Is it important? Will you grieve when the Elder One topples it? Do you see how glorious my Inquisition will be after you die at the hands of the Elder One?
You're hurting, helpless, hasty. What happens to the hammer when there are no more nails?
What are you? Get out! This is my place! What are you doing?
Wait. Envy is hurting you. Mirrors on memories. A face it can feel but not fake. I want to help. You, not envy.
Who are you? I've seen you before. Have I?
I've been watching. I'm Cole. We're inside you. Or I am. You're always inside you. It's easy to hear, harder to be a part of what you're hearing. But I'm here, hearing, helping, I hope. Envy hurt you, is hurting you. I tried to help, then I was here, in the hearing. It's not usually like this.
None of what you said makes sense.
I was watching. I watch. Every Templar knew when you arrived. They were impressed, but not like the Lord Seeker.
The Lord Seeker is an envy demon. It wants to be me.
Yes. It twisted the commanders, forced their fury, their fight. They're red inside. Anyway, you're frozen. Envy is trying to take your face. I heard it and reached out. And then in. And then I was here.
So you're a spying phantom who accidentally enters minds? That says spirits to me.
If it bothers you, I can make you forget. That helps. No. You need all of you right now to fight. Maybe later.
How is my body frozen back in the waking world?
Thoughts are fast. We're here. Outside, a blade is still falling, hanging in the air like a sunset.
If no time's passing, does that mean I'm safe?
No. It would be good if you got out.
All right, Cole. If you really want to help, how do I get out?
It's your head. I hoped you'd know how to stop it.
Well, I don't.
All of this is envy. People, places, power. If you keep going, envy stretches. It takes strength to make more. Being one person is hard. Being many, too many, more and more, and envy breaks down. You break out.
So, if we keep moving in my head, we tire envy into submission.
Maybe. I hope it helps. It's more than sitting here waiting to lose your face. This way. Ideas are loud here. Make them louder. Think of water.
Think of water?
Yes.
That thing can't help you. I will see more. Betrayed allies will curse your name. Like the first Inquisition, you will bring blood and ruin and fear.
Unless you don't. You don't have to. None of this is real unless you let it be.
Get out, thing! I am yearning!
The prisoner failed, Seeker. The breach is still in the sky. For all you know, she intended it this way.
What do you say to your crimes, heretic?
This is a farce. I demand justice.
Have it. Take her to the gallows. No one will think you're me, demon.
Do your friends know you so well? Not as well as I'll know you.
Do you confess to conspiring against the Herald of Andraste?
I confess nothing. The Inquisition took my land and turned out my family.
Then your sons will be executed in the absence of a declaration of guilt.
What? They're just children.
Where is the Herald? Let that tyrant charge me to my face.
Heresy against the Inquisition is the only charge we need.
I am a Grand Cleric of the Chantry.
You are a threat to the peace. The more of you in here, the better.
The Herald has questions, Commander.
Is it my turn to be branded a traitor for questioning what we've become? I deserve it. For letting her turn the Inquisition into a butcher's pit.
It's dark, but it isn't real. Think of sparks. Keep going up. You're more you there than you are Envy, and that tires it out.
Good, I think.
Water. I wish the Herald would tell me what she wants me to confess.
I haven't seen enough.
Enough of them, boy. Val Royaux is burning. The Herald March is here next, bringing even more demons.
I'd die before I let that happen.
Righteousness suited the Lord Seeker as well.
You're letting the Herald see more to sketch her shapes, but what she sees makes her stronger.
Quiet! You wish to be difficult? Then see the legacy of the Inquisition. Its followers hosts to demons, your world ashes. Show me what you do with them.
Or don't. It can't make you, not anymore. You're getting too strong. Keep going up.
What then?
You're making it hard for Envy to think. It'll probably come out soon. It's angry, but that's okay. So are you.
I think we've escaped them.
What does it matter when all of our way is overrun? They say Tethys has fallen, and Aktiv is besieged by the demons that took Val Royaux.
Almost there. Keep going up.
They say the Herald summoned these demons after Celine was murdered. An abomination? Why did no one... Wait.
Almost there. Keep going up.
Unfair! Unfair! That thing kept you whole, kept you from giving me your shape! What could you gain from being me?
What could you gain? What? Ah! We'll start again. More pain this time. The Elder One still comes.
It's frightened of you.
Get out of...
The Lord Seeker!
No, an imposter.
That monster ensured we weren't prepared. I still don't know what we're up against.
Did anyone else see a young man appear beside me?
What young man?
Pale, strangely dressed, clearly faint-touched.
I saw no one. The Lord Seeker was alone when you revealed his true nature.
I'm sorry. An envy demon replaced the Lord Seeker.
Envy? Maker. Then the real Lord Seeker is caged or dead. It used the red lyrium to corrupt the Order, didn't it? I knew that miserable stuff was risky. They often give us new kinds of lyrium, our commanders. Some used the red stuff first to prove it was harmless. The Knights would have been next. That demon turned our leaders so we couldn't question when this started.
Then your leaders all but corrupted the Templars for the demon.
Then we will fix it. Templar, what is envy?
A coward, brother.
It studies, makes less mistakes, but most of all, it hides.
We need our veterans. Our commanders have turned, but the lieutenants may still be fighting. We'll hold the hall. You find the lieutenants and the uncorrupted lyrium stores. Bring them here, and I'll give you envy. Show those things no mercy.
What's the plan, Sir Barris?
Envy's rare. Rank and file aren't trained for that. That's why it took us top down. But there's a few left who can handle it. Veterans. Bring them here. With them and enough normal lyrium, we can punch a hole in that barrier.
These Templars have just enough dangerous to themselves and others. Glad to see Curly isn't the only Templar left who isn't crazy.
I need to understand how you could accept the use of corrupted lyrium.
We didn't know it was corrupted. The Lord Seeker only said it was better than Chantry lyrium.
That's it.
You have to understand. All magic is corruptible. All magic is dangerous, and yet all magic can serve. The red lyrium was just a tool. Or so we thought.
You're not mages. You need lyrium for this?
Templars deny magic, but envy demons are tough. Especially when they've had time to entrench themselves. The veterans can show us how to push. The lyrium will help. So when we break the enemy.
Break? You mean you could die?
A demon holds the honor of the Order. There isn't a man or woman here who will let that stand.
Envy claimed to serve the Elder One, just like your Knight Captain.
Maybe it's to do with the war with the mages, but... I don't know anymore. This is all above me. But bring me the tools, and I'll stand to the last.
When did the Lord Seeker start taking over?
I'm shamed, whatever I say. If he was fake at the start, we let a demon walk in. If he was genuine, Envy took the Lord Seeker from under our noses. Arrogant fools. All of us.
I hope you're right. I'll return.
Free to pass. I hope you're what they say.
I feared you were dead.
Just get to the hall. Barris will explain.
Fight well.
on Barris. They can't hold the Great Hall forever.
It's good to see you alive, Herald.
Head back into the main hall. We'll meet you there.
Of course.
We should check on Barris. They can't hold the Great Hall forever.
Just in time.
How many Red Templars have you fought?
Some broke through to siege the hall. More will come.
We'll keep the hall, Herald of Andraste. Show them the light.
The Elder One wants her dead. Empress Celine. He hates her, haunts her, wants her dead, but hides. Why? He hid other things too.
The Elder One has targeted the Empress.
Perhaps Leliana can discover why he wants Celine's head. This must be the red lyrium the Lord Seeker gave the Templars.
The same kind we saw by the breach. Where did it come from, I wonder?
Idiot Templars.
Here, the untainted lyrium Barris told us about.
We should check on Barris. They can't hold the Great Hall forever.
Well fought.
That thing was Commander Ariel. I can't.
Maker. What happened to them?
Regroup with Barris. He'll explain the plan.
Good luck.
ready to follow. On your order.
This entire day is a disgrace. Right. Keep them off us! We'll break this beast!
Watch the barrier. The Red Templars can pass through.
I touched so much of you. But you are selfish with your glory. Now I'm no one.
Dark and desperate. Death to make yourself alive. I used to be like you. I'm not anymore. You shouldn't be either. trying to hide.
Silence! What could you gain from being me? Everything! The Elder One promised you to me. No one will have you. No one knows you better than I, Trevelyan. Solus needs help!
The demon is dead. Andraste be praised. She shielded you from its touch. We've numbers across Thedas, but we let this happen. Our officers either failed to see it, or were complicit. The Templars are ready to hear what the Inquisition needs of us.
You need to hear this, to feel the truth in your hearts. I am the will of Our Lady Manifest. I am the herald of Andraste. She sent me to remind you of your sacred duty, a shield against dark magic. Knights who will end the breach.
We will not deny Our Lady's will. Not anymore. But the Order is leaderless, gutted by betrayal. We must rebuild it.
Your order is a symbol that holds the people's respect. That cannot die today. We offer you an alliance. Supplies, weapons, grounds to shelter you. All we ask is you help us close the breach.
Do we take the Inquisition's terms, brothers and sisters? The Templars will come. I hope your stronghold is ready.
We'll be ready, whatever's coming.
Officers betraying their soldiers, Templars without leaders, a demon imitating the Lord Seeker. We should have taken them to task. The crimes they've committed.
Were committed by their officers. The soldiers of the Order will serve.
These crimes put them at our mercy, yet the terms of this alliance do not benefit the Inquisition as they should. You should have consulted us, Herald.
We still need to prepare for them. I have contacts in the lyrium trade. Regular lyrium.
If you'd be so kind as to put me in touch with them, I'll secure funding. How many Templars are expected?
A few dozen veterans are coming ahead of the rest to help seal the breach.
How soon until these veterans arrive?
They're almost here. Templars don't like to be late.
Wait!
I came with you to help. I would have told you before, but you were busy.
You were following behind me in secret, Cole. All the way to Haven.
Yes. It's easy to make people forget you when they don't expect you to be there.
Call the guards. This creature is not what you...
A moment, please, Cassandra. I would like to hear why he came.
You help people. You made them safe when they would have died. I want to do that. I can help.
Why and how would you help the Inquisition?
The hole in the sky is too loud for spirits to think. It's pulling, pushing out pain. I want to stop it.
How altruistic of you.
I want to help. I can be hard to see. I can kill things that would hurt people. I won't get in the way.
Cole saved my life in Theronfall. I couldn't have defeated Envy without him.
But what does he want now?
I think he really is trying to help.
I won't be in the way. Tiny, no trouble, no notice taken unless you want them to.
You're not honestly suggesting we give him run of the camp?
Not freely, perhaps, but it seems a waste to... Hold on.
Where did he go?
I'm sure we'll find him somewhere.
Yes, we must make sure of that. I'll have people watch the boy. But let's not be distracted from the breach.
We'll need your help when the Templar veterans arrive. Take time to prepare while you can.